This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. It's crazy out here, man. But, you know, Dame Dash, it's like, bro, look at him, bro. It just looks crazy. It's just crazy, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't want to say too much. It's getting annoying. Joe Budden bars his co-host or anybody on there from saying the name Mal or Rory. He says, you know, he'll lose it if they keep saying it because, you know, he's just sick of these guys. You know, they were in the past. I do agree. I do believe they contributed a lot in the beginning, but, you know, Joe made false promises with them, you know, that they were actually like a part of it and owners. They're not. In Joe's mind, he was always the only owner. They didn't do anything, and they don't deserve any say-so or anything. And it's unfortunate he wasn't upfront about it. That's all. And they decided to walk away because they didn't agree with the books. In hindsight, they probably should have stayed and worked it out, but, you know, I guess it was just too much. It's different when you start with something and you build it, and then you're just blindsided. It's like you don't even want anything to do with that person. You can't trust them anymore. But I felt like the show was better with them, to be honest. It was more watchable. With them together. Not Rory and Mal, but like them with Joe, if that makes any sense. Juelz Santana drops, bro, the most... I'm not a fashionista whatsoever, but I do know this is for like a 12-year-old right here. Juelz must be making clothes for 12-year-olds. Then we got Metro Boomin. He's set to sell less than 20,000 the first week on Futuristic Summer, but who thought he was going to sell more than that? You know, he's really doing a throwback album to the 2008, 2012 era. And it's just... I mean, it's cool that he did it. You know, he didn't have to do that. So, you know, he did that, and it's out. And even selling 20,000 is good. It might sell 22. We'll see. Then Little Baby's he scratched his Dominique album, and he's going to be dropping Lost Tapes. Once you start doing Lost Tapes albums, you're unsure of your career. We'll see where he goes from there. But this will be a good throwback to songs he did back in the day that probably never came out, and it might restore a feeling. It might be a reboot for Little Baby. We'll see. We got Young Thug on there and a bunch of people. Birdman is the only CEO, or one of the only CEOs I know that can, him, Diddy, like Jay-Z and people, they could get on a mic and lie. And you know what? You're going to believe it, because who's going to challenge Birdman? He built one of the biggest independent labels in music, right? For rap. But he's saying, oh, we didn't need off Drake for 10 years until that money was buzzed down. The beef with Lil Wayne and the actual case didn't come out till like 2015, you know? It was about 5 years. He's like, 10 years we didn't touch no money because it was frozen. Everyone else got paid but me. He's trying to make himself feel like the realest CEO ever. Now he's saying he still has 2 floors at Universal, which he doesn't. You know, he just doesn't. They don't have any artists anymore. Drake's on his own. I think Nicki's free of Cash Money too, and Lil Wayne's free. It's just like they have probably their dedicated people that have been working with Drake and Wayne and all them, so they're still involved somehow, but it's not the same at all. India Love talks about trying to open DDG's phone. You know what's funny about this clip? I thought that was DDG putting makeup on her. I thought that was DDG putting makeup on her the whole time. It wasn't. I was like, why does he have earrings on? G Depp speaks to Drink Champs, and he talks about, you know, fessing up to a crime he did back in the early 90s and doing time for it. It's commendable, bro. It shows he has a conscience, you know, and he turned himself in around 2010, 11 for robbing somebody, and he didn't know what happened to them. He didn't know what happened to them. It turns out they died. And he robbed somebody and shot them. So he turned himself in and fessed up to the crime, and they were able to solve the crime because he did that, and he did 12 years. It depends on the type of person you are. Some people will say, oh, that's dumb. I don't think it's dumb. I think, obviously he didn't mean to kill the person. Otherwise, he wouldn't have felt bad about it. He was robbing the person. It turned into a shooting, unfortunately. I think it's commendable. It's sad. It is what it is. But I respect that he fessed up to it, Jennifer Lopez reportedly faces weak demand at Las Vegas residency shows as ticket sales are largely available. That's not good. Shannon Sharpe, this is the girl taking him in. Shannon Sharpe jokes with Ocho Cinco that his pockets are kind of light. He can't afford another $20 million case. He just settled the $20 million case. This woman wants money from him and Chad Ochocinco because they poked fun at her for taking cherries from Usher at his concert. I mean, it's a reach. This is what Kanye's current wife looked like before him. She was just fine clothed, but he feels like she has to be naked all the time. I think it's sort of like a weird control thing with him. It's very weird. It's spooky. Yeet sells 30K the first week with a number 9 debut on Billboard 200. I'll never understand Yeet. I'm sorry. I just won't. Your Rage confers I didn't even know Black Boy Max was part of FaZe Clan. It makes more sense now. Okay. Left FaZe Clan. Okay. Maybe it's because FaZe Banks left. Sterling Sharpe got inducted to the Hall of Fame and brought his brother up. He said his brother drove him. His younger brother, he did it for his younger brother to set an example and lead. And they it's good to see their brotherly bond. They're both in the Hall of Fame. And he actually gave his jacket to Shannon Sharpe because Shannon Sharpe, when he first won a Super Bowl, I think he gave him a ring, his first Super Bowl ring. So, And Sheff G speaks out about a 5-year prison sentence looms. He pled out attempt murder, but he says, I wasn't the one who shot anybody or anything, but, he had to plead out. He didn't want to do 20 years, so he copped out to 5. And now evidence is supporting that he didn't even do it. So it's weird. We'll see. Some judge looked at it and says, okay, it doesn't look like he did it, so maybe they can do an emergency and something, and for, I don't know. And it looks like Jim Jones might be preparing to do a podcast. Shocker. When you go triple plastique, you might have to do a podcast. Anyways, this is Jordan Tower with JT News. I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace.